Am I the asshole for divorcing my husband because he spent 10 minutes in the car during a family emergency? I've been married to my husband for 2 years. He has a habit of sitting in the car 5 to 10 minutes before entering the house. I don't know why he does it, but he talked about a past traumatic experience he had when he came home and caught his ex cheating on him. Because of that, he'd just spend a few minutes in his car before he enters his home as response to his trauma. Now, I won't say that he's wrong in coping with what happened, but this has made me feel uneasy, and it had caused many fights between us. Like when we have guests, he'd sit outside before coming in. Or when dinner is waiting on him and he'd take 10 minutes silently sitting in the car. I was worried that something might come up and he does not respond properly. And it happened last week. My 8-year-old son tripped and fell from the stairs and broke his ankle. To clarify that, my son isn't his biological son. We don't have kids together. My son was in so much pain, and I called my husband to come take him to the hospital, and he rushed out of work. But then I called, and then I was stunned when I looked out the window and I saw him sitting outside the house in his car. I was both shocked and angry. I ran outside and I asked how long he was sitting in the car. He told me around 8 minutes. I asked why he didn't come into the house immediately to help, and he said he would after 2 more minutes. I was so mad and hurt, but tried to rush him, and he insisted he wouldn't feel comfortable coming in until the 10 minutes were up. He told me to get my son ready to take him to the hospital, but I started screaming at him nonstop, telling him this was a family emergency and that he was out of his mind to behave like that. It might not have been my best response, but I was shocked by his behavior and quite concerned because I had this situation always stuck in the back of mind, thinking what my husband do when there's a family emergency. I ended up taking my son by myself when my neighbor intervened and offered to take us. We went to the hospital, and later my husband came and tried to talk to me, but I refused. I then went to stay with my mom and texted him that I wanted a divorce. He tried to rationalize and justify what he's done, saying he could not help it, and that he was nervous and wanted to help my son but felt stuck. I refused to reply to his messages, and days later his family literally harassed me, saying I was making my husband's trauma more severe and that I disrespected his boundaries by pushing him off his limits. I feel lost and unable to think because of the whole ordeal. My family are with me on this, but they can be biased sometimes. My husband is still trying to basically talk me out of divorce, saying I'm making a huge deal out of it. I feel like I no longer have trust in him, especially when it comes to serious stuff like how cold he acted in a family emergency.
Comments. I'd be curious to know if he would still stay in the car for 10 minutes if it caught on fire, or slowly sliding into a body of water.
Another comment says, "It sounds like he is stuck in a compulsive behavior. He needs to find a professional to help him address it. It's going to be tough, especially as he let you down when you needed him. I bet he feels really bad about the situation."
And another comment says, "I have a friend who ended up divorcing her husband because he refused to seek help for his obsessive-compulsive behavior. It was very sad."
Am I the asshole for refusing to donate a kidney to my stepdad that raised me and paid for my college? So I am a 27-year-old male, and my stepdad is 56. He has severe kidney failure, so he is looking for a transplant. His immediate family isn't compatible, so my mom told me to get myself tested. I'm a bit wary of the risks of a kidney transplant, so I was hoping the whole time that I wouldn't be compatible. The results came back, and turns out I was. Even though I'm afraid of the transplant, I was considering it for a while as my stepdad is a great guy. He joined our family while I was in high school and took me like his own. When he married my mom, he told me that he'll take care of my tuition and other living costs for me. I told my mom the results, but specifically asked her to keep it quiet for a few days so I could have some time to process it. At the same time, I was also hoping another donor would come in to help out. Alas, literally the next day, the whole family was texting me and giving me their thanks already. I didn't want to cave in to the pressure, so I told them that I'll not be doing it. My stepdad was incredibly graceful and just said that he understands. The problem is my mom and other family members went absolute ballistic. They called me all sorts of names and said that if it weren't for my stepdad, we would have been out on the streets. I do think that she's right regarding that, but at the same time, I'm just not ready to go through the whole operation. Also, it really left a bad taste in my mouth how I feel like they just expect me to do it as if it's the easiest thing to do, while they don't have that same pressure put upon them as they're all incompatible. Anyways, I might still go back on my decision as I do have the time, but right now I'm just not sure. Am I the asshole?
Comments. Not the asshole. Donating a kidney is a huge ask, but what you should have done is told the doctor performing the test that you had reservations. He would then tell everyone that you were not a match no matter the results. Another comment says,
You are allowed to say no. It carries health risks. You're still so young. I'm not even 50 and would feel guilty putting a 27-year-old at risk during the best part of your life. And another comment says,
My 38-year-old daughter received a kidney from her cousin. There is a process for both donor and recipient. Age, health, and not being pressured to donate. I had one kidney surgical removed when I was 2 weeks old. I'm 71 now. You can live with one kidney. So if you choose to donate, great, but you can't be forced to.